Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing? We are at Thursday already. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? Thursday. The 16th. It is my daughter's birthday today, so happy birthday, Maggie. She's going away tomorrow, and I've got the kids for 4 days. So we're going to try and do a few things with them, which will be nice. Okay, so today we're going to do a block of the week. It's one that I saw doom scrolling. I've tried to change my things on my phone to try and stop myself from doom scrolling. So I've given myself an hour to look at Facebook or Instagram a day. I'm doing all right. I didn't get a 5-minute warning yesterday, so it means that I didn't spend so much, but I'm spending more time on a game, so I'm going to have to put blocks on that, because I do that instead of doing something else, and it's just not good for me. I lose so much down my rabbit hole. So today we are going to be making a disappearing half square triangle 4-patch. Okay, we're going to make it out of the charm pack because I decided that a charm pack would be nice, but we I can show you it in layer cake size as well. So what we are making is so hiya Freddie, hiya Angela, how you doing? So we are, hopefully, I had a look, hopefully it's working. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's working, look at that. So we're going to be making half square triangles. Okay, and then we're going to put them together like this. Okay, like that. And then we cut them up. So I'm going to go through that with you, and this is what we end up with. That. Okay. Now you can see on the wall, when it goes back to front face, you can see I've got one up on the wall as well. So this is what we're making, and then it's how you put it together, because there are 3 different ways that you can put all your blocks together. I actually think it doesn't matter which way you put the blocks together, you will get all 3 of the patterns eventually, if you see what I mean. By adding, they'll all come out the same, I think. So that's what we're making today. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to start by showing you these. I don't know whether Sarah showed you this. This is the bonfire batiks, and look at these beautiful, beautiful batiks. Look at them. There's all these beautiful dark, they're quite a dark one. Some of them are repeated, but they are just a beautiful colour. All this rich autumn colours, and you've got pumpkins in there, you've got wheat sheaths, there you go, there's a pumpkin look, and you've got sunflowers and seedy thingies, or they could be, I don't know, bugs or something. It could be whatever you want them to be. There's a couple of like fleur-de-lis type things, and some leaves. They're just beautiful. Look at that. Look how bright they are. And even the dark ones are beautiful. You've got like autumn colours in there. And we've got them, these are $42.95. And we have it in a charm pack as well. Okay. In the shop we have this one on the bolt, and we have this one. Okay, that one on the bolt. So they're just beautiful, aren't they? So half square triangles, we're going back to basics here. Look, So a half square triangle, you need a square. Square of, we're going to use a plane on one side and a colour. So we're going to, you lay the one on top of the other, right sides together, and on the palest one is probably your easiest. You're going to draw a diagonal line. Now because it's square, it doesn't matter which corner to corner you go, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And we are going to sew 1/4 inch on either side. Now Sarah's foot isn't a 1/4 inch, and I can't find the bit that goes on it to make it a 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw the 1/4 inch on. Okay, so we're going to draw it on because it's easier for me to see. And what you do, it'll also explain it better for you. Okay, so that's 1/4 inch there. And I'm going 1/4 inch from that centre diagonal line. Okay, so you've got your diagonal line that goes from corner to corner, and then you're going to sew the 1/4 inch on either side. All right, so I've got that one, I'll put that on top. Now it doesn't matter what you draw your centre line with, because you're going to cut up that line. Okay, but these Frixion pens should iron off. There are occasions when it doesn't, but they should iron out. There we go. So we've got our 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to follow the red line. Okay, so let's see, where are you? Love the fabric. The fabric is beautiful. It is on the website, so go and have a look. As you can see behind me there, that's done with the layer cake, so you can see the difference in the size of the block. Okay, this one is done with a charm pack, and that one there is done with layer cake size, and those are the two fabrics that we've got in the shop. I didn't want to open up, well, I did want to open up a new layer cake, but I thought I'd leave them for you. So we're I thought I'd make it up. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. The morning chorus started, so I thought I would just get up and sew rather than kill him. I mean the birds. So we are going over to the machine, and I'm going to follow these red lines now, okay, as we go down. So we just follow this red line, and because I'm going to do 2 of them, not quite 1/4 inch. Okay. So I'm chain piecing those like that, and then we're going to chop off. Oh no, we won't. We just turn it round, and I'm going to sew down the other side before we chop it off. So I've got that red line going up the middle of my foot, like that. And straight into the second one. I don't know about you, but I enjoy chain piecing. I really do enjoy chain piecing. So what am I doing? There we go. So let's take these over to the board, and as you can see, I've sewn those now, and I'm going to chop them apart like this. and I'm going to trim, cut up my middle diagonal line like that. Okay, so there we go. So these fabrics, they just make me very happy. I'm more of a rainbow person, but they're just beautiful. And playing with them just makes Sarah Jane a very happy person. Now I found that it was just as well to iron all of them to the dark side. Okay, so you're just going to iron them out like this, press them out. I'm hoping, because that wasn't quite 1/4 inch there, it was a bit more than 1/4 inch. So we're just going to iron all of these out like this, and then we're going to square them up. Okay, can't remember what I squared them up to now. There we go. You see how bright and beautiful this one is. So you'll find those and others on the website. I didn't come live yesterday because we didn't have a delivery. Well, we did, but it was just 101s. And I didn't think you'd want to see that. So there we go. So we've ironed those out into the square, and we're now going to trim them down. So let's have a look. Get rid of all my katundu. Okay, so I can do this down to 4.5. Okay, so there's my 4.5 here. I've got my 45-degree line, so I'm going to line that up with the seam I've just sewn. Okay, and when you have a look at it, you can see you need to just wiggle it around so that you've got 4.5 in all the way round. Okay, so it's gone slightly, my 45-degree has gone slightly over. It's not ideal, but it'll do, Peg, it'll do. So we're just going to trim. I might bring that down a bit. Sounds like my dog. So we're going to just trim this down like this, and then turn it, and I'm going to now line up this corner here with my 4.5 corner there, like that, and just trim that off. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So 4.5. This one's going to be a bit tight. Yeah, my 1/4 inch, I didn't stay to the line, so some of these are a bit squiffy. Just about get in. So just trim these up a little bit. Now you can see I'm not cutting off very much, but as Sarah has iterated before, that even the small amount that you cut off can make a difference all the way round. Okay, so the smallest amount coming off it will make a difference. If all of them had that small amount on it and you didn't cut it off, it suddenly becomes a big amount. Okay. So you can see that it's just, I would imagine that a lot of you have already done half square triangles. I love a half square triangle. I love the whole process of them. I find it relaxing. I like a chain piecing anyway. The worst bit is the trimming up, because quite often if you're doing half square triangles, you're doing a lot of them. So I tend to do it in bits. That one's going to be very tight. You can see how tight it is because I've still got a little bit of the frill on the edge. Okay. There we go. So we've trimmed that off now. So we now have 4 half square triangles. Okay. Now you could do this scrappy. If you wanted to, when you do a half square triangle, you will always get 2 that are the same. But you could do it that you did it so that there was 4 different colours in there. Okay, you could do that. There's no reason why you can't just use your scraps or odd half square triangles you might have there, but for this we are going to continue with this. So you need to have diagonals going in and meeting, and then your other ones you're going to have the arrow pointing out. So your diagonals meeting inside are so your triangles inside, you've got 2 diagonally with a pattern and then 2 plain. I actually really liked just putting them together. You've got this pinwheel effect that will be going on, and that happens on each one that you add. I quite like that as well. I do like we do one called a Diamond Delight, which is all half square triangles, and I quite like that one as well. So we've put our squares together. We are now going to sew those 2 together. Then we're going to iron out to the dark side, and then put them together and make it a 4 block. Okay, so I'm going to go over to here. When do you sew from right top down to bottom left and vice versa? Just want to let the ladies know. What does that mean? When do you sew from the right top down to bottom left? You tend to do that if you're doing it in rectangles, because of how you position them. If you're going to do a half square rectangle, depending on which way you want it to go, will depend on how you put them. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's one of those things. It doesn't matter when you do a square, because it doesn't matter which way you turn it, it's going to be in the right direction. Which ones were meeting in the middle? Which ones do we have meeting in the middle? We had those ones, so that one will go there, and that one will go like that. So you won't go that way. So if we, it's all right. Trying to work out where I'm putting my 1/4 inch, which I should have done there. Okay, next question was, what size are the blocks made from the layer cake? Well, when they're finished, 17.5. Yeah, 17.5. I managed to get them out. But the ones that I'm using now are 5-inch squares, so a charm pack. You know me, I like it easy, so I work from a charm pack or a layer cake if I can. That way that you've got no wastage. So generally a half square triangle from a layer cake you trim at 9.5. So you go from a 10 inch square to a 9.5 inch half square triangle, and with a 5 inch squares you get a 4.5 inch half square triangle. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, we do Sarah's done one called the HRT quilt that uses half square triangles, and I think some are drawn that way and some are drawn that way because you have to twist them to go on to sew them. Saran block, you have to do it 2 ways as well. Right, okay. Now I've been talking, I'm hoping that I've got these round the right way now. Because otherwise they're going to go all squiffy. Okay, so we are just going to try and follow this. If I go slower, I'm more likely to get it on the line, aren't I? There we go. So that's 1. And 2. Now you can pin these. And do as I say, not as I do. Pinning or clipping them will keep them together. But I tend to roughly put them together and then just manipulate them as we're going. Okay, so over here. Got all sorts of things going on here now. Let's move those out of the way. So we are going to iron to the dark side again. Only because when you then nest them, because you'll be able to nest them properly. Okay. Like that. So we've got 1. Then you open this out and you're going to iron to the dark side again. Okay. Like that. Okay, so looking at my block here, I can see that it's not quite, because we're going to put them together like that, they're not quite straight because of my dodgy sewing. So we are just going to straighten those up a little so that you're going with a clean line. And if you end up with having to trim some of them down to 4s, as long as you make sure they're all 4s, it should work. I can't see where I ended. There we are. Right, I'm going to have to do a scan on this one, I think, because I can see I'm quite short by there. Right, so we are now going to put these 2 together. Okay, so because I ironed to the dark side, you can see I can nest that. All right, so we're just going to, and you'll see that these triangles here should nest as well. Okay, and they should all nest up like that. So let's go over to here. Let's put a 1/4 inch on this. There we go. I'll be there now. I'll be there now in a minute. Right, okay. I'll just draw my 1/4 inch back on. There we go. So I'm doing a scant 1/4 inch, so I'm just coming in a little bit. I want to make sure that I catch all of it. There we go. So I haven't had any updates from Sarah today, so I don't know how she is. She's I know they're travelling back tonight, so I would imagine they've got another day. Oh, sorry, forgot to move the camera. So we've now brought this out. Okay, so they're okay points. They're not perfect, but they're okay. This one doesn't look. So we now have our half square triangle. All right. So here's one that I have made earlier. We want this now to be. Let's say we've got a smaller square. Okay. So this now is going to be 7.5. No. I'm sure it was cutting it down to 7.5. No, 8.5. We're cutting this down now to 8.5. This is only just gonna make it. No, it's not even gonna make it. Let's have a look. I'm sure that I've cut them down to 7.5. No, the finished one is 7.5. I didn't trim it, that's why. I don't trim it. Oh, good job I didn't go and trim it then, isn't it? Right, so don't trim it. Leave it. Leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. Now, I bought this ages ago. Cost me about 60 quid. Doesn't seem very flat now, but it's called a Matilda's Own. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, we are now going to cut into this as a disappearing 4 block. All it is a four patch. So we are going to cut 1.5 inches. Now I've brought my wiggly one, my circular one, because it's a lot easier to cut. So you're going to go 1.5 inches from the edge, from the middle. If you're going to do it with a layer cake, you're going to go 3 inches from the middle. Then you're going to turn it and you're going to cut 1.5 inches there. Then you're going to turn it and cut 1.5 inches there. And then you're going to turn it and cut 1.5 inches there. Okay, you with me? You're still with me? Yeah, it's a really cool block. I mean, the lady that I saw had done it in blues. It was lovely. So this is our block now. We now have nine patches. Okay, 9 units. So we are going to leave the one in the middle as it is, and we're going to turn all the ones round on the outside, and you're going to turn your corners so that the little bit of colour or not colour is on the outside. The little triangle is on your outside. Okay, now what I liked about doing it with the layer cake was my triangle was bigger. Right, these 4, you're just going to turn them 180 degrees. So you're turning all of them 180 degrees. Yeah, turn them right round. So we've done that one. Turn them right round like that. So you can see now we've made a star. Okay, these are your standy outy bits, your sticky outy bits, and you're just going to sew them together now. So we're going to sew these two together, these two together, these two together, and then we are going to add those. Okay, so we're going to have to hope. I need to put my 1/4 of an inch on. And I'll put my 1/4 of an inch on there. We have that on there. Like that. And then we're put a 1/4 inch on there. This is time consuming, isn't it? Like that. And then we're also going to put, I did one upside down this morning. That's right. And do that one there. Got too many pieces of fabric on here now. We'll put one there, like that. We have to do those after. Right, so we're going to take those over to the machine. I'm just going to put a stitch through these. Points? What are we pointing at? Points. Ah, yes. Me pointy bits. Don't look at your your words often enough, so they end up not making sense when I get to them. Sorry about that. So what have you all got planned for the weekend? Like I say, I've got the girls. I'm working Saturday. Sunday there's if you're local, down at Sully, there's a down at Sully, there's a Christmas fair, Christmas craft fair. So I'm aiming to get the girls to that. That is my aim. Because Jackie's making cake for a start off. So I think that would be rather nice. Sarah's on the telly as well on Sunday. I think twice. Is she on twice? Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we're going to iron this out. Now, I'm going to iron my top and bottom row. I'm going to iron out. And my inner row, I'm going to iron into the 4 patch in the middle. Okay, so that yeah, that's right. I'm looking at it then, I'm thinking I've done that wrong, but I haven't. I've done it right. So you can see it building there like that. Now these are going to go that one there, that one there, like that. It's easier if you leave them all out and do them that way. You'll get used to it in the end. I tend to at home leave them on here by the side and just pick them up. Okay, so you would then sew those together like that. So we're gonna stick our 1/4 of an inch on here. This will be a lot quicker at home because you will be using your 1/4 inch foot. So that's 1, 1/4 inch there. Like that. And then that one. So we're going to have to put the 1/4 inch on there. So we've got more of these rulers, these 2.5 by 17 inch rulers. We've got more of those back in stock. And we've got wedge rulers and hexie rulers back in stock as well. The hexie rulers are now have gone up in price, but they now do more. Andy has promised me he's going to give me bumps. They've got all different markings on them, so they become, unfortunately, a little bit more expensive. If you already have one on order, we'll stick to that price anyway, because it hardly seems fair, does it? Okay. There we go. Last one. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so we're here now. Are you posting this video on YouTube? Should be. Watch it again slowly. So we are going to put these together now. Right, that's my middle bit, so I'm going to iron that one in to the 4 point, like that. Then that one is there, so you're going to iron out there. Need to trim that one, I think, like that. And then this one is going to go there, so I need to iron that one out. So when you've finished, you have opposites, okay, and there's your 4 patch in the middle, and your points are sitting here. So we're going to just trim them off a little bit, because you can see I'm not quite straight here, so I'm going to straighten that up a bit, which will make it sit better when I'm sewing it. So I'm lining up one of my thick lines with one of my seams. There's an awful lot I'm going to chop off here. There we go. That's straight. That's not too bad. If you're good at lining stuff up, you'll find that you don't need to do this bit. There, and then we're cutting that bit there. So I'm just making sure we line up a little bit. There we go. Right, that one definitely needs a scant. Okay, so we're going to flip that one up there, and we're going to put a 1/4 inch from there to there. Where is it? Oh, That's completely shifted. Look at that. That's not going to work, sir. Right, so let's line that up again, like this. Okay. That's better. You can see how far out I was. Okay, so that's going to go on there, and then if I put my 1/4 inch on this side, like that, it's the right side, isn't it? We'll soon find out. Okay. So that's going to go like that. That goes in there, like that, and then that goes there like that. So we're going to flip that up, come over to the machine, line it all up. Now your points should nest. Now, if hang on, let me show you now. If you find that your they're not nesting, okay, when you flip them over, if it was that way round, because that's the way that all your seams underneath are going that way. This is the same on both sides, okay, it's symmetrical. So flip them so that this seam now is going that way and this seam is going that way, so that when you put them together, all your seams will nest up, okay, so they all click in. How's that? So over there. So we're going across here. And we're guessing because you can't see. Right. Okay. So I'm making sure that my seams are nesting. It gives you better points if you nest your seams. Along here. I'm pretty much following my line that I drew. So there's my middle, and we're now going to put the other piece on the bottom like that. So we're going to fold it over and all my seams will nest again on this one. So just nest up your seams. Don't worry about whether the edges, the corners meet. It's the seams that you want to, because you're going to trim off the edges. So as long as your seams are all nesting in the middle, that's what you're aiming for, okay? And it's surprising how, with something quite so simple, can end up looking more complicated. Okay. Okay, so we now have our star block. I think they're really pretty. So I ironed them all the same way. My idea was that when I put them together, they would, you could just turn it and they would nest. However, it doesn't always work like that. Now, that one is lying flat, whereas this one isn't. if it was in. I don't know whether it's worth doing half of them so that these middle seams go in and half of them that they go out. Ooh. If you iron all those in, all these are going out. So they would nest as you put them together. I have to be honest, some of mine are all going the same way. And I've ended up with having to manoeuvre my seams underneath. I do like it when the back of my work is as tidy as the front. It does make me a happy person, but it doesn't have to be. So we've ironed that out. We're now going to put the square on it and hope that we can get a, what was it? I said 7.5. Oh, plenty-ish. Ooh. And this one might be going on the edge. We can almost get it. Okay. Yeah, now this is because I've not used a 1/4 inch foot. Using a 1/4 inch foot or careful sewing is going to give you a better chance of getting 7.5. Can you see where I'm way out there? There you go. So if need be, I will make one up. I'll cut some 5-inch squares out of my meterage and make that up. But these are ones I did earlier and are 7.5 inch. So you can see here that although they're all the same, you can put them so that they go together like this. Okay, you see this? And go together like this, so that all your all the little squares go together in the middle, and then you would get this one. You can't see that. Let's move that up. I'm going to move those up like that. So if you did them so that you have a plain square, the next one that goes along using that method will have little what are they called, the plain triangles in the middle. Okay, so that you can do that, or you can do it so that you get half and half. So you would go along like that. Okay, or what did I do there? I did it, yeah, this is how I've done it on the big one. Okay, with these bits here. So you're just going to put them together like that and do your 1/4 inch. Now I don't want to do that because I haven't got my 1/4 inch foot and I don't want to muck it up as it is, like that. So you can see that you end up with the pattern. It looks cool, doesn't it? So you, which way have I got to go? That way? If I go that way, there we are. You can see better. Is that? It's because it's backwards on the machine. It's backwards on the computer machine. So I've done it so that I've got little triangles meeting in the middle there. So this one here would mirror that. So I would mirror that all the way through. So I don't know about you, but I love this block. It's a bit Hunter Starishly. I don't think I cut it like that for the Hunter Star, but it's quite Hunter Star-ish. Star-ish. Is that right? It's cool, isn't it? So, that's it. That's me done. Sarah's on at 7 and 12 on Sunday. Thank you, Anne. So next week, we'll be back to normal next week. And then we've got the retreat. So Tuesday and Wednesday the week after that, we won't be doing anything because we'll be at retreat. I'm sure we'll send you some lives from there. We might show you some of the things that we're doing. And the books will be opening for next November. So if you're interested, you need to let us know. And so there we go. That's it. I'm off back over to have my pasta. It is very much like the Hunter Star, but I did a pattern with the Hunter Star from a layer cake, but I'm sure I didn't do it like this. I'm going to have to read it again. I don't remember cutting it into that many pieces, but maybe I did. Maybe I would, now we're talking about it, maybe I did. Anyway, it's pretty. I liked it. Right, I need to have a look at the pattern, because if it is the same, then why am I writing it again? I could just change all the dimensions for a charm pack in there. I'm going to go and print that off and have a look at it. So, right, okay, bye. Oh, don't forget, the Advent calendar starts tomorrow. All right, it'll be live on the internet tomorrow, and you can also come in the shop and buy it. Okay, so ta-ra.